Okay, we're gonna start today with a little hand warm up of the hamstrings, and then we'll go into using the roller just a little bit behind the legs. So keep your roller handy, lie down on your back, bring your right leg into your chest, and just rub up and down the back of the leg, and then slap a little alternately. So a few rubs, and then a few slaps, and a few more rubs, and a couple more slaps, and one more of those, and slap it out. Let's do 4 sets on the other leg. Rub up and down a couple times. And again. And again. Okay, and now take your roller. Place your roller, as you bend your knees, you're going to be ready in a bridge, but put your roller right up against the place where your legs start, your tush ends. Then hold on to the roller with your hands on the top of the roller, lengthen out your legs, and you should feel like you have a little bit of a ramping up of the lower part of your body, slight suspension of your low pelvis. And then you're just gonna do rolling pin legs, rolling the femurs out, and then in, and then out, and in. This is just a quick perfunctory warm up for your hamstrings, for the fascia. One more rolling out and rolling in. You don't have to do your arms, I'm just guiding the movement of the legs. Now holding your legs straight in parallel, so the knees are facing straight up, drag your legs out against the roller and back in again. You're keeping parallel position of the legs, going outward to the sides, abducting the legs, and inward, adducting them. And one more time, we go out and in. Put your feet down. Roll the roller a little closer to your knees, probably the middle of your hamstring muscle. And then we once again do rolling pins, rolling the femurs out so the toes point outward, and roll the femurs in, toes point in. And roll out and roll in. And 2 more, try to keep your heels close to the floor so you're not lifting the leg too awfully much. Keeping the legs now in parallel, 4 sets of going out, dragging the skin against the roller and drag back in, and go out again and back in, and go out and back in, and go out and back in. Move the roller to just above your knee. We're not going in close to the knee. Those are tender little connections, so we're just going to stay in the lowest part of your hamstring. Again, rolling pin and roll in, and roll out and roll in, and roll out and roll in, and again roll out and roll in. And now dragging the legs out, dragging them in. It might be easier here to keep the heels on the floor. The reason I don't want you to lift your legs to do this is I don't want you to use your hip flexors here to hold the leg up in the air. It's just a little too much work. This is not about that. Okay, take your roller, bring your roller to the side. We're going to use it after 4 normal bridges. So hands are down by the side for 1 bridge. Take a breath for preparation. On the exhale, curl your tailbone up to the ceiling, pushing the pubic bone up, opening your hip line, squeezing your glutes. Take a breath and roll down, articulating your back, and then land down onto the mat. Cross your arms above your chest. Just elbows are pointing to the ceiling. Take a breath. Exhale, curl and print the back and peel the spine off the mat, opening your hip line. Stay there as you take your breath, and exhale, roll down through your spine, articulating your back, land. Breath for preparation again. Exhale, curl. We're going to go another one like this with the arms up in the air. Stay there as you breathe in, and exhale, roll down through your spines. And one more for the articulation. Curl, peeling the spine off the mat, holding up there. Breathe in, and exhale, start to roll down. So this action of the bridge doesn't just warm up the back of your legs and your glutes, it actually challenges your thoracic spine, because that's the pivot point. That's the point from which you're rising the pelvis. So it actually works your chest a little bit. Take your roller, place it underneath your feet. So now for 4 bridges, we're going to have a little more challenge on the hamstrings. The roller is unstable, so you're having to use your hamstrings to keep that roller close into your bottom. Otherwise, the roller will go away and you're on your heels. So that's already engaging the hamstrings more than usual. Let's go here and see how we do with the arms across the chest. Breath for preparation. Exhale, curl the tailbone, feel the steady feet, press on the feet and raise up the pelvis. And notice right away the hamstrings fire a lot more. Breath and exhale, we roll down through our spines, articulating the back. Land, straighten the legs on the roller. And then walk that back again, rolling the feet back into the position, ready to go for a bridge. Breath for prep, exhale, curl, imprint the back and peel the spine off the mat, lifting up to your chest. Breath for prep. And exhale, roll on down, articulating your back. And rest out there, straightening the legs. And then bend the knees, place the feet back on the roller. 2 more like that. Make sure you haven't lost that position of the roller. Curl your pelvis, push pubic bone up to the ceiling, holding that line with your glutes and hamstrings. Take a breath. And exhale, roll down. This should feel like some work. Lengthen out. This is the last one. Feet back. Take a breath. Exhale, curl, imprint the back and peel the spine off the mat. Hold that, take a breath, and exhale, roll down, articulating your back. And then let's bring the roller back into the hamstrings. So place the feet ready to go into the bridge position. This is in physical therapy terms called a hook lying position. Sometimes I might start using that since it's sort of a universal cue. Straighten the legs from there. We're just going to do dragging in and out, dragging in and out, dragging in and out, and 3 times, move it to the middle of the thigh, drag in and out. The muscle got contracted. Now we're just kind of dragging to see if we can soften it a little bit. Get rid of all that lactic acid, and then down towards your knees just 3 times, dragging out, dragging in, loosening up that back tissue. Last set, and then back in again. All right, bring your roller off. Put your roller down by the side. You're not going to use it for this next one. The arms are going to be behind the head interlaced. When you're in this position, every time you interlace your fingers, feel like you're placing your thumbs on the occipits, the very lowest part of your skull before the neck starts, and feel as though what you do when you place your thumbs there is you kind of pull upward, lengthening the neck. So let yourself be in that position, elbows wide, tight legs together. Twist the legs together over to the right and notice if you feel the feet, knees offset. Bring yourself back. Do not move that left shoulder when you go to the right. When you go to the left, take your breath into the right back by your kidneys. Exhale, pull the ribs back to center. To the right again, twisting over, left shoulder stays put. Exhale, bring the ribs, the waist, and the legs back. Notice the progression of the twist. First the knees go, then the hips go, then the waist, then the low ribs. Now pull the low ribs back. You should feel your abdominals light up to do that. Hold there. Bring one leg to tabletop, then the other leg to tabletop position. Tighten your legs together, squeezing tightly. We go over to the right as you breathe. Exhale, pull back. Now the challenge is greater. Twist over to the left, breathing in. Exhale, return. See if you can feel the opposite side oblique. So as we go right, we're feeling the left inside pelvis. Come back. When we go to the left, we're feeling the right on the inside of the pelvis, right by your abdominal area. Come back in. Take your hands behind your legs. Straighten your legs up to the ceiling. Point and flex your feet a few times. And then keep your feet pointed lightly, gently, not vigorously. Take your hands back to the back of your head and see if you can hold your thighs vertical. If your hamstrings are really too tight, soften your knees a little bit like this so you can look at the screen, and just stay with your thighs in a vertical position as you twist. If you can, I'll demonstrate this one. If you can, make your legs all the way straight. Let's go to the right as you breathe, feeling those obliques on the left, hold you back. And then bring those into play as you come back. When you twist to the left, the obliques on the right are preventing you from going very much farther. Exhale, we come back engaging those same muscles. Twist over to the right, feeling the obliques turn on the left side. Now pull them in and bring the legs back. To the left as you breathe in, feel those obliques on the right side pelvis. Exhale, bring yourself back. Lower the feet down on the mat. And we're just going to do 4 sets of chest lift and chest lift with rotation. Breath for preparation. Exhale, curl chest forward towards your knees and print your low back into the mat. Stay there as you breathe in, and exhale, roll down through your spine. Breath for preparation. Exhale, curl upward towards your legs. Stay there as you take your breath in, and exhale, lower yourself back. Breath for prep again. Exhale, lift the head a little and curl the chest upward towards your legs. Stay there as you breathe in, and exhale, lower yourself back. And breath for preparation again. Exhale, curl forward towards your legs. Stay as you take your breath in, and exhale, lower. So that was 4 clean ones. Keep the elbows slightly to the ceiling so your shoulder blade distance wider. Lift the head slightly. Exhale, pull that low back into the mat. Stay there as you breathe in. Exhale, upper body goes to the right. Come through the center. Inhale. Exhale to the left, looking forward towards your thighs. Exhale to the right. Just lower your eye gaze. Try not to bring your head too far forward. I can see what's going on if I just gaze forward. And this is our third set, finishing on the left. Come up a little bit higher in your abdominals, over to the right. Come to the center, exhale over to the left. Come to the center and go back down. Stretch out your legs and your arms really high over your head. Now we're gonna do something we've done a long time ago in class, and we're gonna try it again. So let me just take a little glance as to who's in my class today. Okay, so we are going to do something called footwork, which is something that we do on the reformer. Some of you have had reformer work, will know what this is. We're going to be moving our legs in a position as if we are, if you're on a reformer, if you don't know what it is, it's a table that you're lying down, and then right at the end of your feet is a foot bar, and when you push away, the table slides away from you, and you get exercise with your legs against a force that's not quite as heavy as if you were standing and doing a squat. So now we're gonna go into what I call parallel heels. So bring your legs up to tabletop position. Here, you're going to be on your back for quite some time. So if you feel like your neck is kind of straining to have your head be this flat, make a little cushion with your mat, or grab the towel that you should have handy, and just elevate your head. So I just doubled up my cushion a little bit underneath my head, and my neck feels less strained because we're going to be here a while. This is neutral spine abdominal work while challenging with the leg position. Take a breath. On the exhale, keep your hands on your belly. Push the legs away, driving the heels forward, the legs are together. Bend the knees, return. As you push the legs away, maybe you don't push straight out because you cannot support it. Do not let this arch your back. Keep your low back really close to the mat or imprinted if you feel like your abdominals need to go there. We go again, imprint the back and return. Abs are working, push away and return. Keep going, push away and return. Strengthening your body in neutral spine is a really good idea. 2 more, push away, because this is where we function. And last one. Now point your toes and keep pushing. And if you have to push higher, make your legs a little bit less away from you to challenge your abdominals a little bit less, or your hip flexors. Those could be working too. Keep going. This is a lot of abdominals. We're not going to do our nasty 5 exercises. Hands are on the belly. Make sure you keep the belly pulled in. 3 more, push away, pointing those toes. 2 more, push away. And 1 more time, push away. Bend your knees, press your feet down. Place the heel of your hand right up here at the top of your legs, and just do some deep massage with the heel of your hand on those muscles right at the top. Those are your the top of your quads and your hip flexors, which is your iliopsoas that goes into that spot. So they're working hard. Bring right leg up to tabletop and then left, and now make a V position with your feet. Join your heels together. Keep your feet a little bit lower, so if I looked at you sideways, I would see that your shin is parallel to the floor, not up here. When you push away, you might decide to push up instead of out. So heels are going to stay touching the whole time. Toes are flexed back, looking forward at your legs. You see a frog leg shape. Push away, and at the end of the push, point your toes. Bend your knees back. Keep your hands on your belly so that you feel the abdominals contracting as you push away. Try not to strain in your neck when you push away. The whole core is working here. Tighten the legs all the way together, joining the knees, and bend. And again, push away, abs are working. Do not let your low back arch farther than it is when your knees are bent. When you straighten them, you still have to keep that precision of your back. 2 more, push away and return. 1 more time, push away and return. Hold the knees into just a little bit and rock sideways for a moment, just your lower body, just to massage your pelvis a bit. And now we're gonna go to legs there. You're going back into parallel legs. Push away, point your toes, and keep your legs there and your abs held in, hands on your belly. Flex your feet, point your toes. Flex your feet and point your toes. Keep your abs working, turned on. Do not let the back change position. If this is too hard, soften your knees or raise your legs a little higher. And again, push away, bend, and push away. Flex the toes back. 2 more sets. Back, 1 more. And back, and now point the right foot and the left foot, and now we're switching feet. This is called prancing. Keep going. Good, and now knee bend and push. Knees and push. Keep going and going. 2 more sets. Bend the knee, bend one knee, bend, straighten the other. Last set. Good, 4 in each, and rest. Okay, so now let's flex the feet back, do some circles with feet on the floor with the heels driven in. We got a little footwork there, even though we haven't been doing it on the floor, my feet started to feel like they were working a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna go to a roll, slight roll over. So we're just gonna, the next exercise, this is a reformer workout. The next exercise is gonna be the 100. So let's do that now. Bring your arms up to the ceiling, close your hands. Take a breath for preparation. Your legs are a couple of inches apart, but knees bent. Curl the chest forward towards your 100 position and pump your arms. Inhale, exhale, look at your belly. Inhale, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Breathe out, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, trying to let your belly rise. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders are down by your waist, away from your ears as far as they can get. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Last set. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the head back. Turn your head right and left, pressing it lightly, gently into the mat to relieve the neck tension. And now let's take the roller in hand. So this is not a very heavy thing. It's going to help you do a roll up. Maybe if you have a hard time doing a roll up, get yourself to seated and just do the challenge that happens when we come back. Roll forward. So if you couldn't do a roll up to get forward, come to seated, and then just roll back. If you can't do a roll up, don't go back all the way down. Just stop over here and come forward again. We're gonna roll all the way down if you can. Let your arms stretch back. As you inhale, bring your roller forward and your head forward, then exhale and push the roller towards your feet, looking at your navel. The roller is hovering off the mat. Arms are parallel to the floor. Inhale, begin your rolling backwards. Exhale, roll the rest of the way down. And finish with your arms over your head. Inhale, bring your upper body forward. Exhale, pull your shoulders down and roll up. Inhale, roll back. Exhale the rest of the way. One more set. Inhale, come up. Exhale, roll. Inhale, begin the rolling backwards, and exhale, roll all the rest of the way down. Okay, so now, let's do one neutral spine challenge to that exercise. So everyone come up to a seated position, and come up with your arms like this, and your roller square. I'll come back a little bit. Apparently I have moved. So if you're not going to do a roll-up and you want to get the same abdominal work from here and it doesn't feel like a good roll-up day, like you're fighting to come up, then all you want to do is keep your back straight and lean back, tucking your tail ever so slightly so your back is flat. Don't let your head come forward. Your head is in line with your spine. And now lift your sternum to come back up. That should feel like a challenge. So let's do that 3 more times. Holding the bar steady in front of you. Lean back, abs are working. The head is going back with you. And then come forward. This is like flat back, long box, those of you who do reformer. Lean back. Good, excellent, everybody. Chris, that looks really nice. Keep your chin a little tucked in, Chris, just a little tucked in chin, slightly. Very good, right there. Don't round your spine, Barb. Keep it straight. Lean back, flat back, box work. Yeah, that's it. Good, and come back up. So that would be your, and you can still feel it in your hip flexors just like a roll up. That's your alternative if you have a day when you don't do a good roll up. Some days are like that. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of challenge for the lower part of the body. So bring your roller. Sometimes I have a very small diameter roller. It just gets me off the floor about 4 instead of 6 inches. To get onto my pelvis, I actually put my elbows on the roller and I roll back onto my pelvis, or get up to your pelvis any way you can. Okay, so we're going to try to do a little bit of lifting of the pelvis off of the roller using our hands on top of the roller to help us get leverage to go over. So I have a V position, frog leg position, right? So my knees are open, they're together, the inner knuckle and inner heel. My arms are down on the side on top of the roller. I'm going to press on the roller and see if I can bring my pelvis off an inch or 2. This is a bit of shoulder work for those of you shoulder people, so be careful. You could do a fist with your arms knife edge, external rotation, and then lift the pelvis off and see if you can land it gently down, even if it comes off or just unweights a tiny bit. I don't care if it's 1/8 of an inch, 2 inches. You can use a little swinging to get your legs up in the air. 3 more times, and we lift. You should feel this in your arms and shoulders. And we go again, abs are working. 1 more time, and we lift, and we come down and bring the legs down 1 at a time. Okay, now let's take a little psoas stretch. We've done all that work tightening and crimping in the hip. Bring the right leg in towards the chest, and then just stretch the left leg out on the floor. Let the weight of the left leg be on the floor so that you don't hurt your psoas. Who is that in there? Everybody's got a heel on the floor on your left leg. Pull your belly in, and as you do that and tuck your tail, you should feel more stretch right in the front of the hip, right in the inside front hip. Bring your left leg in towards your chest. Stretch your right leg down straight on the roller, opening up that hip line for a nice little stretch there. And as you tuck your tail a little bit and keep your foot down, you're going to change that stretch and make it more intense right up here on the hip line. Good. Okay, so now we're just going to do a little rotation. Oh, goodness. Let's just turn that off. Okay, hands on the top of the roller. And we're going to go moving the lower body slightly over to the right side hip bone. So I have unweighted my left hip bone or pelvis. And we come back to the center. Both sides of my pelvis are weighted. Keeping my hands on the roller, and we're rolling a little towards the left side, weighting the left side pelvis. And then come back and notice if there is a tightness on one side or the other that is different from the other side. And we go again, and we're massaging that sacroiliac joint. We're going into a little bit of the glutes because we're going to be doing some glute work. So now we're just going to roll a little bit more into my glute muscle as I roll across a little bit lower. Make the roller come down a little bit lower on your pelvis, closer to your tailbone. See if you can get a little bit more glute as you roll from one side to the other. 1 more set right and left. And then you're going to undo yourself from that roller to take it off. And let's come up to a seated position. So just do a plain old roll up or come rolling forward, roll up to your side in any way you have. Now we're going to do a little spine stretch, putting the roller on top of our laps. So I'm going to use knife edge hand. To me, knife edge means I'm, chopping. So I have this, I think it's the ulna. Is it? I think it is. It's the ulna. So you're on the edge of it. So now our arms are here, straight out, shoulder width apart. Actually, let's keep the roller by your knees and then stretch your legs out. Roll the roller down towards your feet. Your arms might be you might be on your elbows now, and the roller should be on your shins, and you're just rounding your spine, rolling. Roll back up again, bringing the roller back to you. So you can make a kinetic chain closure by bringing the arm down onto the roller down onto the leg. Press down into the roller with your arms as you roll it over your shins toward your feet. And then press on the roller as you roll back up. You might have to adjust the roller every couple of times. The roller changes. Press on the roller. Feel the shoulders working as you draw your belly in and feel like you're creating your own resistance. I feel like I'm pulling my waist back. I'm pressing hard on the roller with my shoulders. I breathe and exhale, roll back up again. 2 more of those. Breath for prep. Exhale, roll your arms onto that roller forward over your shins. Press on the roller and roll back up. Reposition if you need to for the last one. Mostly I have to bring my roller closer to my knees. And we go one more time. Press on the roller, roll. Hold this extended position with your arms stable. Now my arms are sort of on near my elbows and just below my knees. I'm going to lift up my upper back. So now I'm kind of looking towards the camera. My back is lifted. I'm leaning forward. I should feel a little hamstring here. Round the spine, release that stretch. Release that position. And now we're lifting up the back, flattening the back and feeling the stretch in the hamstring. Release it and come back. That was very nice. Okay, now place the roller on your ankles and flex your feet. So I'm going to use this roller as a challenge to see how stable can I keep my upper body in the twisting. So you know how I always say when you do your spine twist, don't offset your feet, but it's sort of an unconscious thing. It can kind of happen a little bit. So we're going to make it harder to do that. The roller is nestled into my ankles. My feet are flexed. My arms are in a T position, goalpost arm, not T, sorry, goalpost arm. Twist to the right with 2 little pulses as you inhale. Exhale, come center. Keep that roller still. Twist to the left, breathe in. Exhale to center. Quads might feel this to the right, breathing in. Exhale to center. To the left, breathe in. And exhale, center. And to the right, breathing in. Try to keep that roller from wobbling. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. Grow taller as you twist. Exhale, return. Grow taller to the left. Exhale, return. Now I feel this on my quads. Let's wait for a teaser to do the quad work on the roller. So let's do a double leg lift on the side, and then we'll roll from the side into a teaser. Most of you who have done this before. So we're going to be on the front edge of our mats. My right hand is down on the floor. You do not have to use your bottom arm to help you lift up, but it might be helpful to use it. So first of all, we're going to lift both legs off the mat. So we draw the belly in and raise both legs off, feeling the abdominals pull in the whole while. Your hand on your waist, on your left waist, should feel like, oh, that is feeling a nice taut muscle right in my oblique area. And then I'm going to lower the legs down. And if I put my fingers in there now, my fingers can go in. So I can feel how taut those muscles are. You're going to need them for the teaser. So we're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to go to teaser. So this time, keep your fingers lightly on the floor. You probably don't need them very much anymore. Draw the belly in as you lift both legs, feeling the left waist work. Now we're going to go for the oblique teaser. Place the left hand on the front side. So I would say not on the front, not on the side, but kind of on that halfway in position. Sort of front side. And when we lift both legs off, you're also going to lift your chest into this position and stay right here. I do not have a lot of weight on my hand. So be careful on that side, Bonnie. Don't use any weight on that. Get up using your left hand. Don't hold this position. Okay, now we're gonna roll with our knees bending and hold on to the backs of the knees. Get them right away so you can feel the very proud position. We're gonna go back where we came from and do one more time. This time when you get into that position, pass through that, holding the back of the knees. That's just to keep you aligned, and see if you can go into the arms parallel to thighs. I will demonstrate it. So we go. Lift up the upper body and the legs and roll to a parallel position. Arms parallel to legs. You can do this with a soft knee. Try not to use, once you've got off your side, don't use your arms to help you get up. Just use your abdominals. Roll back where you came from. Bring your right arm to the floor, Rick. When you start, so your right arm is over your head, Rick, it will come back to this position when you come out of the last one. Left hand on your thigh, press on your right arm, lifting your chest, a little bit of pressure, and raise up into your teaser. Get up, get up, get up, get up. That's it. Anchor the shoulders back, arms parallel to thighs. That's good. Turn your upper body back where it came from, placing your right hand towards the floor, and roll with control to the floor. So for you, Bonnie, if I were gonna get up without my arm, I would get up a little bit faster, and then I would go down really slowly on that side, because the oblique side you're using is it's just gonna make you land more softly if you don't have your arm at all. So this is true for all of you who feel the arm is very hard to put up there. Let's go to the other side. So you're on the front edge of your mat. Left arm is out if you can do it. We do 3 times lifting both legs off the mat. The right hand can be on the floor. Take a breath. On the exhale, pull the belly in and raise both legs, keeping the belly really held in. Your hands can feel how taut those muscles are on that side. And then lower the legs down again. 2 more like that. Abs pull in first as you exhale and raise both legs. And you should feel, I can hold my abs in even when I breathe in. And then lower back down. One more time. Exhale, raise the legs. Feel the tautness. Come back down. These are the muscles that are going to work to come up to teaser. Place your right hand on the front side of your thigh. Reach for your feet. Lift up your back. Roll, grab the backs of your knees and hold your chest in a proud position in a nice V shape with your legs. Your knees are bent here. Roll back where you came from. Good. And now you're going to try to do that one without holding on. I think we did 3 on this side. We go again. Press, lift, roll, find your shape. This is the second one. You have one more opportunity to get a very nice teaser shape up there. And we go again. Press up, lift, try to find your angle. Lift your proud chest. Feel your quads burning to hold the legs as high as you can get them. And then turn your upper body. Do not use much pressure on your arm to roll down. Make it all be the obliques. Excellent. Okay, we warmed those quads up. Now let's roll on them. Okay, so here we go. Take your soft roller and place the roller up the highest part of your thighs, and make sure you have enough room to roll forward and back. Let your legs be soft to the floor. Just roll with your legs about a comfortable distance apart. I don't want you to strain in your hips. You may walk on your elbows, but when you're in this semi-plank position, you're in a plank really on your elbows. Don't let your waist sag down. The same rules apply here as they do for a regular plank. Roll towards your knees as far as you can go, and then roll back. Okay, let's stay at the upper quad. And you can try to do that rolling pin exercise here. It has diminishing returns when we're up at this height, but I can feel my glutes squeezing, rolling my femurs out, and it's a little bit of a change. And now we're going to keep the legs parallel and just drag them out and drag them in. Your legs are like tongs, forceps, tweezers. staying parallel, going in and out one more set. I'm going to roll a little bit closer to my knee so I'm closer to the middle of my quad. Try the rolling pins, turning the legs in and out from the hip line. Rolling inward, toes are inward. Rolling outward, toes face out, the glutes fire here. Rolling inward, the glutes relax, the internal rotators work. Going out, external rotators. One more roll in and roll out. Now in parallel, drag the thighs along the roller. This should feel like much more massage for you. Pulling against those muscles, we roll back again. Shearing the tissue really, and come back. And one more time, tongs go out, tongs go in. Rolling a little bit closer to your knees now. Not on top of the knees, but just about, say, 3 to 4 inches above your kneecap. Tongs again, squeezing in and rolling out. In this position, what I start to feel is a twanging of my quad muscle a little closer to my knee joint because the fibers or the bundles are a little bit smaller and there's a lot more separation between them right here because of their attachment points. Keep your abs in, do not let your waist sag. Keeping the legs parallel now, drag out the legs and drag them back in and feel like you're pulling against the skin and the fascia and the muscles. Again, this shouldn't feel like really horrible pain. A lot of your weight is on your shoulders. One more set. Good. And then we come back out of there, come back all the way, and let's do now, using the roller for our legs to do our glutes. So let's see, do we want to use the roller? No, let's skip the roller on this one. We're going to do a little bit of modern leg work or modern side leg work and a little bit of classical. So line up at the back edge of your mat. Bring your left knee to the front of the mat. Your foot is there as well. You're in a 90-degree position, right hand on your hip. We go forward with the right leg. And in this position, I want you to think every time, we're going to pay attention to the very first one. Here in this position with my right leg to the front, what do I see? I see my right ankle relaxing, so my foot is just kind of hanging off my ankle instead of pointing really firmly or flexing. I just have a dragging, soft ankle. My glutes my glute is working, but my hamstring is preventing me from taking my leg forward. If I tuck my tail, I can get my leg farther forward. There is no gain in that. So my pelvis is square. My left side waist is off the mat. You need to keep that stable as you swing the leg. Otherwise, your leg is going to pull you all over the place. Here is my hamstring length challenge. And when the leg goes behind, this is my psoas challenge. My abs have to hold in really firmly here in order not to arch my back. So with those parameters in mind, you may place the hand on the hip or the floor. Breathe in, go to the hamstring, lift the leg here, lower the leg. Breathe out, pull it to the back with an exhale here. Inhale, come forward, lift and lower. Exhale, pull the leg to the back. Try and monitor that nothing in your torso moves here. This is all glute work. Breathe in, go forward, up and down, and exhale to the back. When you feel the hamstring pull, resist changing your torso. When you feel the psoas pull to the back, resist arching your back. This is where you get glute, or rather hip dissociation, and a lot of strength primarily in your glute to do this. 2 more times we go. Forward, lift, lower, exhale to the back. And 1 more time, forward, lift, lower, exhale to the back. Bring the leg to the front. Feel your waist is still off on the left side. Your hip is pulled, your right hip is pulled down to release that hamstring to the floor for 20. Down and up. 2 and lift. 3 and lift. 4 and lift. 5 up. 6 lift. 7 lift. 8 lift. Starting to feel it in your glute right here between the leg and the pelvis. And 3 and 14 and 15. Keep going. 18, 19, and 20. And I feel like I have worked this muscle right here. So now we're going to go feet to the front corner of the mat. We are not quite done with this. So I want you to allow your feet not to be aligned. So this again is the issue with the pelvis and the torso. Look down at your feet, and when I notice when my left waist is collapsed and I'm all relaxed in my body, my right leg looks shorter than my left when I look down at them. So now I'm going to just push my right leg forward until my knuckles match and my ankle bones match, and I notice that it changed to my left waist and it changed the alignment of my pelvis. Collapse again, so your left waist collapses into the floor, and then push against each other and feel how it lifts your left waist and aligns your pelvis. Try to keep it there as you raise your right leg 1 foot off the floor. We are now going to do 10 little circles in each direction here. Go forward, up and around and back, and 2 up and around and back, and 3 and 4 and 5. Look at your foot. So this is one time I want your head not in alignment. You need to see your foot. 9 and 10. Have it hover right over the other leg. So every time it passes through the midline, it is lined up with your other foot. It is not a shorter leg. And 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. And bend the knee. And let's hold the knees together, and the feet are going to lift, and you're going to keep your knees touching. So the feet are, I'm kind of in a zigzag shape. My feet are not at the front edge of the mat. They're a little behind me. And now I'm going to just rotate that femur in the socket and feel the resistance in my glutes to do this. So I'm working against my own resistance in my own joint. And we pull. And again, keep those knees touching, glued together. Glued together those knees. And again, open that hip. Or rather, I guess you're closing the hip. 2 more. And 1 more. Good work on that glute. Let's roll over to the back. Cross the right ankle of the left knee. And in this position, once again, I like to pull the back of my head long so that I can feel the neck stretching or lengthening in the back. Holding the left leg in towards your chest as far as you can get it. Roll a tiny bit towards your left. You should feel the stretch change in your right hip. Flex your right foot, making sure that ankle bone is not digging into your knee or your thigh. And then pull the left leg in a little bit more if you can to increase that stretch. And then place your foot down on the mat, keeping the leg crossed over, and just open the hip from here. This is a different muscle now, with a different angle on the other support leg. So this changes. The hip is not as flexed. It's a different muscle stretching. And now let's come out. We're going to get on up and go over to the other side, lying down on the very back edge of the mat on the right side. Right knee is bent, right foot is in the front as well. And what did we do here? Oh yeah, we just spent some time feeling the alignment of the body. So we're going to go forward with the left leg. Remember, what we're dealing with here is an ankle that's relaxed. One way to get that right waist to come off the mat is to push your left hip down away from your shoulder, and you should feel a little rocking action on the side of your pelvis that makes your right side waist stay there. See if you can hold that position. When the leg comes to the back, feel like you're squeezing your butt, but you're pulling in your belly a lot so that you can stretch the front of the hip every time the leg swings to the back. Think of this exercise as glute work, but also range of motion. So we swing the left leg forward, breathing in, raise the leg, lower it, and pull it to the back with an exhale. We go inhaling, feeling hamstring, lift and lower. Exhale to the back, no change in the torso. Breathe in, forward, up, down, and exhale to the back. Breathe in, go forward, lift and lower, and exhale to the back. Keep going and forward, up, down, and exhale back. Keep going forward, lift, lower, and exhale to the back. Keep going, swinging that leg, lifting and lowering, exhale to the back. 3 more times, lift and lower, exhale to the back, and 2 more, forward, up, down, and back. And last one, forward, lift, lower, and back. And then we bring the leg to the front. and hold that hip down and let the leg drop to the floor, down and up, and 2, and lift, and 3, and lift, and 4, and lift. Keep going, 5, and lift, 6, and lift, 7, lift. Feel your body, nothing changes, just working right in this socket. And I don't know where I am. Do we have 10 more to do? I think so. 3, and 14, and 5, and 16, and 17. Oh my God, 18. Oh my God, 19. Oh my God, maybe we did more than 20. Oh my God, I'm sorry if we did. Okay, give it a little rub. Okay, now we're gonna do our rotation medial and then our straight line work. Or maybe we did it in the reverse order, but it's okay to do it like this. All right, knees are together, hand is on the hip, and I'm gonna push my knee open or my foot open and close. 9 more of these, rotate. Rotate against your own. Try not to let, when this rotation happens, don't let it change anything in your rib cage, in your spine. This is all isolated down in the pelvis. Keep going. Knees stay touching, knees stay touching. Who is that? Is that Barry? That's not Barry. Who is that person? It is Barry. Barry, your knees stay touching and your foot goes up. That's it, honey. So you can do those after class, okay? That's for internal rotation. All right, now straighten out your legs both to the front corner of your mat. And if you collapse into the floor just resting and look down at your feet, my left foot is about 2 inches shorter than my right foot here, or my right leg. So now I'm gonna hold this, push those feet to make them level and square. Notice how it brings my right waist off the mat. And now I'm gonna hold this position while I bring my left leg a foot off the other one, and we go forward, up and around into the back, and 2, up and around to the back, and 3, and 4. Keep going. Trying every time you look down at your foot to see that that your legs are the same length. 9 and 10. Finish your 10th, reversing circles. 1 up and around, and 2. The foot is gently pointed here. I don't have as much of a collapsed ankle. I'm really reaching out of my hip. 2 more circles, and 10, and we now relax. Bend the knees, give a little bit of a rub, and let's roll over to our backs. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Bring the right leg in towards your chest. Again, think of lengthening the back of your neck. So if you want to just take one hand and sweep your hair out of the way to lay your head down on the mat. Nice long back neck. Always good to decompress the neck. Pulling the right leg in a little bit and making sure you feel that left stretch. Flex your left foot, making sure your left ankle bone is not digging into your knee or your thigh. And roll a tiny bit to your right to feel the stretch change in your left hip. Now from here, pull the right leg in a little bit more to intensify the stretch. And now we're gonna come out of there. And then I think that was all we did here. Let's come on up. So Elaine, this one is gonna be a little bit of a challenge for your shoulders. So I want you to watch this. And if this is not going to suit you, just do lying on your stomach with your arms by the sides of the hips and lift your upper back. We're going to be lifting our upper back, but we're going to put our arms on the roller. If that's too much for your shoulders, then you're going to just be on your stomach, lifting just your upper back up, okay? So I'm going to use this as an exercise for shoulder stability and for setting of the shoulder blades onto the rib cage. I'm on my stomach. My head will be down. My arms are that knife edge position. Shoulder width, no narrower, please. Even wider if you feel bound up in your upper trap muscles right here by your neck. Let the arms be wider than you think they ought to be. My forehead is gently down on the mat. I'm going to shrug my shoulders up and I'm going to pull my shoulders down. The roller is going to roll towards my head as I pull my shoulders down. As I pull my shoulders up, the roller rolls away from me. My thumbs are pointing to the ceiling. 2 more, shrugging the shoulders and back down, and 1 more time. Shrug the shoulders up. This time, when the shoulders come down, start to lift up your head. Abs are working, rolling the roller to you. Your belly is in, your anchored shoulders, your glutes are squeezing. Your back is flatter than you want it to be. Roll back down. This exercise could go all into your low back if you let it. So draw the belly in, try to keep your body straight. Shrug up your arms, pull your shoulders down, press on the roller as you begin to bring your upper body up, looking at your roller. Abs are in. Land on your pubic bone here. Squeeze the glutes. Roll back. Shrug your shoulders up, moving the roller away. Pull your shoulders down. Abs are working. Roll the roller to you. Bring your ribs in. Anchor your shoulders. Pubic bone is on the mat. Squeeze the glutes. All that core work in addition to the shoulders. Last one. Shrug up, shrug down, lift up. Abs are working. Come through. Okay. So now we're going to do a little bit of thread the needle, which is a good shoulder mobilization exercise and good for the thoracic spine and rib cage. So we will be on our knees in a quadruped position. A thread the needle is basically, I'm going to demonstrate it one time. The right arm will be out to the side. We usually do this from our happy puppy pose, and then we just take an arm through and take this as a stretch. This is going to be a mobilization exercise. So I think, Elaine, this is okay because you're not bearing weight through this on your chest, so the rotation is just, it's not that great. The rotation is in your hips a little bit. So I'm going to swing my right arm to the side, bringing the back of the hand along my mat, aiming towards my left. I'm going to bend my elbow, doing a lowering of the body as I bring my right shoulder down towards the floor. So this is mostly a stretch from the shoulder to the elbow. And I'm going to come back again, opening out to the side. So let's everybody get into that position. Right arm is out to the side. We're going to do 5 times like this. Slide the back of the right hand just behind the left palm. And as you do that, bend your left elbow and put your head down for a moment. Keep your pelvis square and then raise up again. 4 more times. We go. Sliding the hand through, calling thread the needle. And come up. This gives a little work for your left arm, doing half of a push-up. All by itself. Press that heel of the hand into the floor. 2 more times. We go under and back out. And 1 more time. We go under and back out. And let's change hands. Anchor the shoulders. Press your chest upward to the ceiling. Take the left arm out to the side. Back of the left hand against the mat. Bring that hand behind your left and behind your right. Bend your right elbow, placing down that head and shoulder. Bring that left arm out to the side. 4 more times. We swing that leg or that arm under. And we use the right arm to lower our bodies down. It's a lot of work on the shoulders, so Bonnie, be careful. You can just take the stretch on this. And again, I think this is your last one. And now place the hands down. Put your hands out. We're going to do 1 plank here before we finish. Stretch to happy puppy for a moment. Nice traction on your low back, swaying the back with gravity, helping to stretch, opening up the gaps, giving decompression to your discs. Come back up, put your hands under your shoulders, get ready to take a plank position, anchor the shoulders, press back 1 foot, bear weight through that leg, contracting your butt and your quad. Do not wobble as you take the other leg to match it. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abdominals, anchor the shoulders, fire the quads to straighten the knees. Feel like you're pushing your feet into the floor and you're pushing your hands into the floor. And then take a leg back to the floor and wait for a moment. 1 more time, try your other leg. If you have equal work or if you have no injury on the other leg, if you're not favoring, try your other leg to bear weight first. Anchor everything. Take your other leg back. Hold your plank. Anchor the shoulders. Press the heels of hand into the floor. Press the feet into the floor. Squeeze the glutes and the abs. Make this be a very active plank. And now with your hands, push your hips upward to a down dog, otherwise known as elephant position. Okay, walk a little closer to your hands, just a little bit. Let's try one more thing here. If you can come out of your position and look up. We're gonna come back to it. So I'm just gonna hold my down dog position, and I'm gonna just take a foot back and reach it long and squeeze the button. See how high I can get that leg as if I'm trying to point to someone behind me. Try not to move anything else from there. So let's all get into our down dog positions. And let's take the left foot back, squeezing the glute on that side, trying not to change anything in your any other thing. You have a 3-point down dog here. Squeeze that glute, bring that leg down, swing the right leg back, point your foot, reach long, try not to change anything else in your body. Come back out, soften your knees, hovering the knees off your mat. Breathe, lower the knees, sit yourself back, uncurling those toes. If you want to sit back on your feet, you can do that. Rounding your spine, tucking your tail, getting more stretch. Otherwise, do happy puppy. That's otherwise exceptional. And now we are going to do some more on the roller. So I'm going to do another, probably another 5 to 10 minutes on the roller if you want to join me for this. I'm going to unmute the class and we will unmute. Okay, so if you'd like to stick around, stick around.
Something. Okay, well, just a minute.
Okay, so we're gonna put the roller on the chest.
Oh, what I'm doing.
Okay, so right at the low rib cage. So if you have it on speaker view, everybody who speaks is going to be shown to you. It's going to be like the first class we ever did, which is not a bad thing. It's kind of fun. All right, so now we're going to go into, the roller is at my low rib cage, not up by my shoulder. I'm a little bit lower down by my low rib cage. So I'm just going to do an arch back and keep my pelvis down and a curl forward. We're not going to roll up and down the spine because we're pretty warm. So that usually is a warm-up exercise. So this is just an arching back. Try not to arch your low back, but just your upper rib cage. And you're warm now, so this should feel delightful. And now hold steady, roll the roller up your back just a little so I'm on the lower tips of my blades. And I arch back my back, and I curl. And I arch it back, feeling like I'm opening up my rib and my heart and my sternum. And again, we open out and close. Now bring it just a little bit higher into the middle of your scapula. And we open here. So this is a much higher, more bound up, more armored place. You have a sternum here, which is locking those ribs together. You've got smaller ribs. You've got muscles between your shoulder blades. So let's bring our elbows to the ceiling so that when we arch back, you can feel a little bit more give because those muscles are a little lengthened and there's more room between the shoulder blade and the spine. And now roll to the very top edge of your shoulder blades and see if you can open up just the first collarbone rib area. So you're feeling like you're really in the upper. I'm going to hang here and inhale. I'm just supporting my head with my arms to the best of my ability, and I'm just allowing gravity to take my upper rib. See if I can use my breath to elevate it. And now I'm going to bring myself back to that lowest part of my rib cage. So you're rolling back again. Now you're level. You're looking straight at the ceiling. Your elbows are still a little to the ceiling. So I call this the clock. I'm looking straight at the ceiling, and now my body is kind of like going around like the hands of a clock. Spinning, making my elbow come to my hip. I'm not breaking the plane. I'm still staying in a horizontal plane, looking at the ceiling the whole time, twisting around one of the vertebral rib cage connections. And you're gonna go one more on each side, twisting, or rather side bending. Now move up your back to the bottom edge of your shoulder blades. Keep yourself level looking at the ceiling. Elbows a little to the ceiling so you open up the back. Side bend, rib cage to pelvis. Side bend, other side. Keep some pressure on the roller on your spine, twisting around, softening up that fascia. And we go one more set each time, right and left. And then move up the middle of your shoulder blades. One more rolling side bend. Elbows up a little bit. Shoulders are anchored away. Don't work too hard on them. Just notice if they want to rise or if you want to use your neck. And now we're going to go one more position, the highest part. And this just feels like what it does. There's a lot of bones here. A lot of bones from the top of the scapula. Good. Okay, so now let's bring your elbows back onto the roller and come to the roller under your pelvis. And remember we did this, that small twist of, I said to do like a little rock on the pelvis on the roller. So now we're gonna go into a little bit more extreme of that, and we're gonna work into our glutes. So I'm gonna roll onto my right side. My right leg is gonna come down onto the roller. I'm just kind of pushing my hip into the roller, massaging my right butt. You see what I'm doing, Mary? I'm just rolling. I know my pants are dark and you can't see. I'm just rolling over to my right hip and lengthening the leg so that I can get at that glute tissue. Now I'm going to roll all the way over to my right side, and now I'm kind of in that glute medius area, which is between the top of my pelvis, I guess that's the ASIS, and my trochanter, which is my leg bone. And there's glute medius there. Lots of the external rotators, smaller muscles are there. I'm just finding where I would like to be between that glute in the back and the glute med on the side. And this is just your own personal place, right? This is you should guide yourself as to where you're going here. It's just a small invitation. All right, and now I'm gonna roll a little bit closer to, I'm on that side, but I'm gonna get up on my elbow, and I'm just gonna kind of roll a little bit into the front of my hip bone and see where that attaches there, if there's any tension there. So I'm not quite on the stomach, but I'm on the back side of my hip bone, right on the other side of that oblique area. Okay, and now come on up. Feel free after class to do more of this. So the good news about rolling on this roller to release the fascia is that wherever you roll, you will benefit in other areas. So if you just do the chest, you're still going to benefit in other areas, as if you, better than if you've done nothing. So we're now on, I had to roll around because I had to find a new, I couldn't face the other way. I'm now on my back again. Knees were up, then I'm rolling a little to my left, straightening up my left leg, and rolling around on that glute. For some reason, this side feels easier to do, to accomplish it. I'm not sure why that is. No idea. And then just reposition yourself on the roller if you need to. And now I'm going to roll a little bit closer to my glute med. I'm really on the side. Again, you can be up on your elbow. I have a small roller, so I don't need to come up on my elbow right away. But it feels, if whatever feels right, do it on this one. Now I'm gonna roll a little bit closer to my front and just at the attachment of my glutes into that side of my pelvis, looking for any tension. This area could prevent that internal rotation. The thing that we do with when we put our foot up into the air, you're looking for that outside of the hip to lengthen a little bit. Okay, so one last little zone to invite you to do, and you can try this on your own because we're going to end the class now, is if you get onto here into kind of your armpit, and you do the same kind of thing we did on the pelvis, support your head, but you're just kind of rolling. Bonnie, if you're still with me, you should be able to do this because you're not reaching your arm out. This is underneath and it could benefit you. So explore this zone on your own, but be careful. You have smaller joint there. Let's try just the other side. And you don't want to be mashing stuff into places, but you can tell what feels good on the stretch and what feels like, oh, I don't think I should go there. So the soft roller shouldn't hurt you. That's why we use them. Hard roller would be nasty on this. So I'm just kind of in my armpit here and rolling inward towards the armpit and the pectoral and rolling back to the shoulder blades. The same kind of thing we did on the pelvis. But it should feel delicious. For those of us who have neck issues, shoulder issues, posture issues in the upper back, this rolling on the shoulder blade is really good. Okay, my friends.